That's part of what you mentioned, taking responsibility for some of the things that have not been dealt with. Because if we haven't taken responsibility for cost of living and how it has impacted Ghanaians currently, despite the causes, why would we be outlining some of the interventions that we roll out?
Have you admitted the reason why people are having a hard time economically? When the finance minister did the regional
town hall meetings,
he apologized for the DDEP.
Yes.
Because it wiped out people's income.
Absolutely.
There are a number of things that have happened economically that have made people's lives worse.
Yeah.
We didn't hear any admission. I'll give you a good example. So the government has borrowed from the Eurobond market since 2018, $11 billion. Mm-hmm. That is more than all governments in the Fourth Republic put together in the Eurobond market. That is what led us to be kicked out of the international capital market. For the first time in our history, we couldn't pay our debts. That is incredible. Yet, there was no admission to say, maybe we borrowed too much, we are sorry. You follow me? You quickly to say it's Russia, Ukraine, and COVID.
But there's a question.
$11 billion.
There's a question that you are leaving out. What was that $11 billion? I don't seek to really litigate all of that. But what was that $11 billion borrowed for? At the time, well, but you know, and you know, this is a debate we've gone. Oh, come on, this is a debate we've gone throughout. Well, when challenges came with the servicing,
we're borrowing to service. We're basically taking new credit to pay old credit.
Well, I mean, every borrowing, part of that has been to also do debt servicing, every borrowing. But also the significant part of the borrowing, you will not disagree with me, did not go into debt servicing. It went into other matters. But here's what I'm saying. We were on a certain trajectory. And nobody can deny the fact that when we were hit by some elements, those elements then caused the trajectory on which we were going to be distorted.
So which elements were those?
Oh, come on. We know that. I don't want to really litigate those matters. Fast forward.
But these are important because they are important because
they are.
I'm not trying to. What I'm trying to say is that you see, if you borrowed $11 billion,
yes,
and under COVID you got 21 billion cedis from the contingency fund.
Yes,
that's a lot of resources.
Yes.
The central bank made a loss of 60 billion cedis
because of the domestic debt exchange program.
So there's been a lot of inflows.
Yes.
Now, if despite that, people have a lower purchasing power, people's incomes with their banks have been decimated or savings because of haircuts, and cost of living is high, and cost of inputs is high, and people are struggling. When you put the two together, the most important reason why you were voted for was to fix the economy, and
which we did.
No, the economy is based on our life.
Which we did.
He lists quite a number of tax policies that he wants to implement. There was a midterm budget which didn't include any new budget, so no problems there.
Yeah.
This government said that, or this party, when they were in opposition, said that Ghanaians were being overtaxed, and therefore we're going to move from taxation to production.
Yeah.
In your first term, you remove what you call 15 nuisance taxes.
True.
I can count 22 taxes you've introduced in the 8 years that you've come into office. So did we go or did we come? So when he comes and says, I have ideas around tax policy reform, you remove 15 taxes, you bring 22.
What you've left out is the intervening event.
Like what?
So we removed 15. And then we were hit by headwinds that were not planned for. You see, we cannot have the conversation of the economic trajectory and wish away the intervening events.
I can list the 22 and tell you
how many of those were introduced after the challenges.
Emission levy tax, 10% tax on betting and lottery winnings, 3% VAT flat rate, 5% national fiscal stabilization levy, 2% special import levy, luxury vehicle tax, 50% increase in communication service tax, 1% COVID health recovery levy, 3% VAT flat rate, making it 4%. 1% COVID health recovery levy and 2% national health insurance, making it 3.5%. 5% financial sector cleanup recovery levy, 20% energy sector recovery levy on every liter of petrol, 10% sanitation boiler tax, 18% energy sector recovery levy.
You will notice that the majority of the ones you were listing were introduced after we were hit by things we hadn't planned for.
Some are 2017, some are 2018.
I'm saying the majority. I haven't said all.
I already 14. They are 22.
I'm saying the majority of what you have just read.
I see.
I think all these COVID items you are mentioning were things that came after COVID. So Bernard,
was sanitation boiler tax also post-COVID?
Check the dates on which they were put in. I'm saying to you,